Morning Stampers. Hello, welcome to the LovenStamps studio. It is Thursday morning, so happy pre-Friday to everyone. I have a project today that is kind of a mind-blowing idea, but I have the Extraordinary Flora here with me today, and we are going to use washi tape to cut out 16 flowers and leaves in about 30 seconds or less. It's an amazing set of supplies, and if you don't have these yet, there is a link in the video description for adding them to your stamping toolbox because they are pretty fabulous. I've shown some projects with these already, so I'll recap those at the end. They were my feature last month, or I think last month, for the LovenStamps Monthly Tutorials. And as you guys know from watching LovenStamps, I'm all about showing ways to maximize your products and make the most of what you have in your stamp collection to make a really fun variety of projects and make stamping really fun, right? So no struggle, no fuss, just all a good time in creating. So with that, I think we are, let me just check. I think we're ready. I'm going to turn my camera down and show you guys some fun things. Oh, did I show you Extraordinary Flora and the washi tape? So these things together are fantastic. Okay. Switching down here. So what I have here is the washi tape already mounted on a piece of cardstock, okay? And this is to show you really simple. What I like to do is start off with a piece of cardstock that is 5.5 inches by around 4.25, so about a quarter sheet of cardstock. And the washi tape comes on a roll like this. There is lots and lots of it here. Hey Sue, good morning. I don't know how many repeats, but a whole lot. You can see kind of how thick. I probably used maybe a little more than half of it, but I've been doing tons and tons and tons of this. So if we are doing our 30 seconds of flowers, I'm going to roll this out. I'm going to press it down on my cardstock. I already have one actually applied to this, so I'm not going to go ahead and press this one down. And then I'm going to pull out the die that goes along with this Extraordinary Flora stamp set. And here it is. I'm going to pop this down on top of our piece here, and there's some washi tape already snugged down to it, so I'm just going to reuse that. Oh, there's a little bit off. There we go. And then I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. Okay, do you guys want to see this? I know you've seen die cutting before, but I'll go ahead and show you. Because we're going to use our die cut machine again today, I'm going to show you how to use the Iridescent Treat Bags to make an amazing background that is just as pretty as the florals that we're cutting out here. So, all right. Let me pull this back over. I'm just going to bring my whole plate with me so you can see what comes out. And now we have all of those flowers here ready to go. Okay. I never get tired of these. The flowers come in such pretty colors. Hey, Lori. Flowers come in such pretty colors. I kind of look at them as two different sets of color schemes. So this one here is the one we're using today, and this one is a great match for the colors in our in colors from last year: Summer Splash, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink. Let's see, I think I've got some Pretty in Pink here. So you can see how, let me cover this one up. See how pretty those are together. Then we have this set over here, and these are a beautiful match for the colors in I'll show you this one. Colors in the current in colors, the newest ones, the 25 to 27. So we have Darling Duckling, Timid Tiger, Strawberry Slush, and so forth. Those are a great match for these. So no matter which half of these you're using and they're sequenced on the roll, one color, the other color, one color, the other, you're going to have a really great set of options, really easy to put together for these particular colors and making a finished project. Okay. All right. Now, I sometimes find myself using one more than the other. So I have like a stack here of all of the pinky petunia ones. And so you can imagine how fast these would go if I were to just go ahead and start cutting them all out. Just really, really pretty assortment. And then I use them all. So you can see this is kind of what I've been having left over here in my stamp case. All right. So let's take a look at what to do with these, because I feel like as flowers, this beautiful need a really pretty card. So we're going to start off with a piece of, like I said, the last in colors, the 24 to 26 in colors. This is Summer Splash, and we're going to start off by stamping the floral. So not only do the washi tape match the die, but the stamps themselves match the die too. And again, if you go to the LovenStamps blog, you'll be able to see all of those past ways that I've used these supplies. And so we're going to bring this in because I'm going to stamp kind of off the edge of my, like, look at all those flowers. Don't they just make you happy? We're going to stamp off the edge of our card front here. All right. So I'm going to ink in Summer Splash and stamp on Summer Splash. When I have a stamp this big, I prefer to ink it upside down like this. And we're going to go ahead and flip this over. I'm going to hold my card down so that it doesn't move. It's a little bit dangerous to stamp on a folded card front. In fact, I think I'm going to flatten this. And we're going to stamp this way. You don't want your cardstock to be moving when you're stamping. All right. I'm just going to give it a couple seconds there to make sure I get good transfer. And there we have our really pretty floral. Okay. So we're only going to stamp the bottom of this. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp. If you don't have a chamois like this, I highly recommend getting one. They are like ink magnets. And we're going to go on to Petunia Pop here next. And so I want to make sure that all of that Summer Splash is off of there. So we're bringing in our Petunia Pop, and we're going to do the same trick again. This stamp is so easy to use. And this time I'm just going to use it on the bottom. That's probably plenty. And this is going to go inside our card. So really pretty accessory to go along with what we've got for our front. So let's go ahead and stick that down. Now, you guys are not going to believe the amazingness. Actually, I'll just show you a sneak peek of it. This is the background that we're going to make next, okay, to go with the front of our card. So let's go ahead and do this, and then I'll show you how to do that. It has some special supplies involved, and I think some of them may be things you haven't used before. So you're going to be excited to see those possibilities, I think. All right. Hi, Bonnie. Okay, so we're going to layer here this is going to be a simple 3x4 card. And I want to take a piece of Pretty in Pink cardstock, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to layer on it with our Iridescent Treat Bags. Now, these are what they look like, and they seem a long way away from that cool background that I showed you. But we're going to pull this together here in a second. I need some Pretty in Pink cardstock, though. And then we are going to do some layering. So let me set this up. I think we're going to cut it afterwards. So here, we'll just put this together. Sorry, like finding the pieces. Oh, my iridescent. Goodness. This is what happens when supplies are so useful. I have them pulled for different projects. So these are the adhesive sheets. If you haven't seen these before, they are a really cool set of adhesive placed between two backing papers. Hey, Margie. All right, so let's go ahead and see what size we need. I'm going to take my paper trimmer and open up my bag, and we are going to sort of maximize our surface area for this. So I'm going to trim off one edge there. And I'm going to trim off the bottom. Whoops, that was kind of a messy one. Make sure you clean out your little pieces here before you trim. So I'm going to do that one more time so we get a clean edge. There we go. And so now I have this piece of Iridescent Treat Bag here that I can layer onto our card. And looks like I have it, gosh, just coincidentally, just right about the right size. So the adhesive sheets have little cracks running their length, and so you can use those cracks to get sort of an easy handle on the backing paper when you're trying to peel it. Now, you want to keep your hands off of this as much as possible. It is a really, really thin film of adhesive, and if you touch it, it will come up on your fingers. And we do not want that to happen. We want it to stay on our paper and then apply to our cardstock. So I'm putting this on the back of our cardstock, and there we go, smushing that down. Okay, so now there are lots of ways you could use this particular paper. So you could flip it over, and if you wanted to have adhesive die cuts, you could just die cut like flowers or words or whatever you want from the back of this here. And then you would peel the backing off and you would have a sticker essentially. But we're going to use this a little differently. We are going to use this, we're going to peel it right here. If I can peel the backing. Okay, the harder you push something down, the harder you push the adhesive down, the easier it is to separate it from the backing. So we're going to use that principle here. And actually, you know what? I'm going to use a block to make sure that this is really well adhered everywhere, because I don't want it to come off of the paper. All right, that'll give us a much more even pressure there. Much better. All right, so I'm going to toss that backing paper. And now we're going to take our iridescent treat bag and we are going to apply it here. And I'm going to go ahead and overlap just a little bit. There we go. So that we can run this down. And I'm going to use my block again to pull out any of the wrinkles that would have been in there. Okay, so now we have this super gorgeous iridescent paper. Now there are some kind of little pock marks in here where I got a little bubble or something like that. And so rather than worrying about that too much, I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. So our petunia layer here is it's a little less actually. It's 2 7/8 by 4 apparently. So we're going to make this layer here 2, and let's go ahead and cut this first. All right, trim one clean edge there. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this a little bit smaller too. Get a clean edge going there. So we're going to make it 2 7/8. Let's see, minus a 1/4 inch would be 2 5/8. Seems so okay. 2 5/8 by 4. So I'm going to make it 3 3/4. And let's just double check that. Yep, beautiful layer. So now if you want to make your math a little bit easier, you of course can adjust for whatever. But the point is, between these two card layers, you're going to have a 1/4 inch difference. Hey, Jennifer. Oh, actually, that was a good suggestion. Sue said, had a comment. Oh, where did it go? It disappeared for a second. Sue said you could take a pin and you could just pop that little air bubble in there. That's a good idea too. Okay, so these layers here are going to go together. But like I said, I want to add some extra texture to this. And that is where the Pattern of Friendship stamp and die are going to come in. So I'm not going to use the stamps today, but I have used these quite a bit before, and I really love the messaging on them. Plus, they're on the last chance list. So both of these things, this is your last chance to get them. The little stripey die here, Pattern of Friendship, is what the die is called, and then the stamp set. So let's go ahead and pull this out. And it's one single die, and it gives you this amazing texture. So let's go ahead and pop this on. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it is straight on here. So join me again for my die cutting machine. And of course, if you're doing more than one of these at a time, you could just die cut both at the same time. And I'm going to actually die cut, well, I'm not really cutting, but I'm going to do the die with the die facing up so that I can see what's going on and make sure it is still straight. You could also put some washi tape on there to hold. But let's go ahead and pop this through. Remember, you want the iridescent side against your die so that you're getting the die cut to go downward through your paper. And this is what we have. Isn't that fantastic? Loving this so much. Okay, So we have a layer here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Now, these are all little tiny holes here, so I'm going to glue a little bit sparingly, and I'm going to try and get it kind of between the holes so that I'm not having a lot of glue pop through. And we'll go ahead and press that down. All right, and then the layer here, we're going to go ahead and attach to our card. And usually I pop things up, but you know what? Let's just go ahead and make it flat because I want our flowers that we're still coming back to. Oh, okay, this is what happens when you try to adhere layers that are not dry yet. I want our flowers from the washi tape to be our big winner here, the big standy outy part. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit down. And then we are going to go ahead and come back to our floral here. So let me pull this out of the way. We have all of these flowers here that we can use in our card. So feel free to use as many or as few as you like. But I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these. Let's see. We're going to pull some of these, maybe one of the big flowers and one of the little greenery pieces. We'll kind of do that. All right, so we have this. We're going to pop these on here. Now, what I want to do, I feel like it needs another flower there. What I want to do, though, is I want to have a really nice focal point for that. And so to do that, I'm going to take another piece of our Pretty in Pink cardstock and use one of my very favorite shape dies. These are the Stylish Shapes, and so I'm going to pull this circle here and go ahead and die cut this. And this one I have done ahead of time through the magic of television. So this is going to fit here like that, and then I think we'll have some of these kind of go underneath. Now the next question is, what will we use for a greeting for this? So the Extraordinary Flora has several greetings in it. This congratulations with love for the extraordinary couple. So lots of good choices. Then this little underline here to give it sort of extra visual interest. But these are pretty small. I want something that's a little bit more robust. And so we have these sets of Saying Something ephemera. This is an ephemera pack, and it comes with all greetings. So you get 8 sheets in here, and I have, it comes in one of the packets here with the, let me pull this out, with a piece of chipboard on the back. I went ahead and put this inside one of my empty stamp cases. You can get these stamp cases as a purchase item. You get 4 in a pack for a few dollars. And they are a nice size for storing your ephemera packs. But this one has all of these kinds of little word strips, and then it has all of these big scripty ones here. And so I kind of went back and forth. I have 2 choices. I have this happy here like this, which is a good color match. And I have this hello here, which is in white and also kind of a pretty color match. So I think I'm going to go with hello for this one. This is a great card for kind of any occasion. So think about those ephemera when you just want like a large sort of scripty greeting for something. They are a great way to go. So, all right, let's go ahead and pop our circle on and put a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals. And then I'm just going to really carefully put a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue on here. And I'm just going to hit kind of the highlights in the center. When you use this glue, a little bit goes a long way. I always say if you can see it, it's enough. So I don't need to feel like I need to glue every square inch. It is going to stick really well. It does take a second to grab, so don't mess with it too quickly. But let's go ahead and put this one flat on the bottom here. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop this one on a dimensional that sits just below right here. And then, you know what, I had that extra little flower down here. Would you guys like to see more closely? I had that extra little flower down here, but I feel like maybe, I don't know, do we want it up here? I kind of feel like we could use a couple florals up there. No, I really do like them down here. Let's see, couple flowers, maybe no more flowers, maybe we're done. All right, So here's my message for you. When I get to the point where I think, should I add one more? And then I look at it and I can't decide, then that usually means no, I don't need to add one more. I should just quit while I'm ahead and use the card as it is. So there is a really fun one. You could also, of course, add some dots to these. These are the in color pearls that go with the other set. But one of my favorite ways to add color to something is to go ahead and grab these iridescent foil gems, partly because they're clear, so you can use them for whatever you like, but you can also use your Stampin' Blends to go ahead and color those. So let's see, why don't we make some pink? Let me grab my pretty in pink here. So these are my color Stampin' Blends markers. These are alcohol based, so they will stick to a non-porous surface. And I always do my coloring while they're on the block here on the container. And I'm going to color, I think I'll do two big ones and a small, or two big ones and a small one. And they're super light, but now they have a little bit of a tinge to them. And I'm going to use the spatula tip from my Take Your Pick tool and to snag these and go ahead and pop them onto our project. So I'm going to put a couple of them there, and then maybe, let's see, I always like to do a triangle up here, down here. I kind of want to encompass our greeting, so I'm going to put it up there actually. All right, so now we have a little triangle with our focal point in the center, and those are kind of balancing with our set of three, so our embellishments and our flowers and our greeting. All right, so a really fun way to use these, and I promised you some more cards using some of these washi tape pieces, and so let me pull these. Now these are cards that I've done as part of the video series already, so you'll find them on the LovenStamps blog. But we have this one here, which used the washi tape flowers, and then also the washi tape background here. You're going to want to save because this is a technique tutorial here for this particular card, or there is. This one used the pattern of friendship die again to make sort of a shaker card. These little pieces are loose in the background, and you can kind of see how the washi tape makes the most there. This is a really simple one using a banner, and this is actually based on a design from the catalog with a really simple background and layered greeting and so forth with our banner. And then this last one is a little bit more complicated. This is a tutorial too, and this time instead of using this as like a throwaway mask, you're going to use it as part of the card itself. So really fun opportunities there. And this is the example without the pattern of friendship for that shaker card. It's really pretty too. I kind of am partial to the texture, but all right. Yay. I'm glad you guys are enjoying all of these pretty cards. They are just like I said, the Extraordinary Flora is extraordinary. It is aptly named. So whoever came up with that name, it's pretty brilliant. I highly approve. So if you need any of these supplies, remember links are in the video description. And I hope that you guys are kind of excited about these cards. It's a really simple one to put together. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it is absolutely beautiful in the presentation. It's definitely one of those cards that's like, wow, you made that? How did you do that? So, oh, Bonnie says your cards are beautiful. Thanks, Bonnie. Honestly, the supplies in these are beautiful. So it's a matter of mixing and match and putting them together for sort of the best effect. So I'm always happy to share ideas with you all. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. It's Friday or pre-Friday here on Maker Moires with Meg, so I'll be back on Tuesday with another episode and another card to share for you. And let's see, Tuesday is actually the 30th, so it'll be the last day before our starter kit special begins. And if you have not seen the information about the demonstrator starter kit, on October 1st, Stampin' Up! Is starting a special where for $35, you get to pick out $125 in product of your choice. So it's like a $90 shopping spree, and it is a big deal. So of course, I would love to have you join me and my LovenStamp Fulls demonstrator community. which you get when you sign up with me. And that is coming on the 1st, so next Wednesday. If you have any questions about that, let me know. There is, I don't know if there's a link in the video description. I'll try and put one there. Otherwise, you can go to the LovenStamps website. It's just lovenstamps.com, and look under the Join My Team information to get more details about your starter kit and how that all works. So thanks, Jen. I'm glad you like the cards. All right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Find some time to do something creative, share something that you have crafted with someone in your life, and whether it's a virtual picture or an actual card or a little treat or whatnot, take your time and do something creative to just flex your creative muscles, I guess, and then share a little joy by sharing that with someone else. So happy stamping, everyone, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Thanks.